Saints fans, welcome back to your favourite podcast, Saints TV. In here with Joycey and Marshy, boys. How are we feeling after the weekend? Feeling all right?
Feeling all right. Feeling good.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a loss. It was 21 points in the end.
21 points.
Yeah, but fair efforts on the field, I reckon. Marshy, how are you feeling?
Oh, yep, lads and listeners. Yeah, you talk about sort of honourable losses and losses that you can kind of accept as long as you can see the effort and things like that. But it always kind of feels like cheap, hollow talk. But then when you actually... Because it's always hard to really draw back on those kind of games. And then when you witness one, like we did against Melbourne, you're like, yeah, bloody oath. Like, you walked away as content as you could be with a loss, I think. Because we showed a lot.
And look, I bring it back to the first quarter where I think that we... And sorry, listeners, if you're hearing a lisp or anything like that and I'm not getting too excited, I've had all my wisdom teeth out, so I'm back in the chair, back in the hot seat.
It's like your mouth's wired.
It feels wired. It does, honestly, because it's still a bit swollen, so I can't open it the whole way, so it's quite frustrating.
I reckon that's a good thing.
Come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. Jakey's the godfather, I thought.
Yeah, sorry.
I still am, mate.
But yeah, I go back to that first quarter and the effort that we came out with, and you know, we kicked 3 goals, I think, in the first quarter, and then they really 3 goals, 5 in the first quarter, and then they really shut us down in the second. And then it was just trying to play catch up from that moment on. But in that first quarter, we had Filippo have one touched on the mark. We had him hit the top of the goal post.
Yeah.
And we had Liam Stocker almost kick the Saints goal of the year, and that hit the back of the padding on the
true
on the goal post. So
it was a lot.
Then in the last quarter, you look at the free kick that went against not against Machado, but as Machado took the mark, the block behind him.
That was soft.
Yeah, it was a lot of soft free kicks, and then the one that Machado kicked the bounce back in. So we had absolutely everything against us. And
they were kicking straight.
And they were kicking straight compared to the week before where they kicked 5 goals, 15. So, but that's what good sides do. They're not going to have a lot of opportunity against a side like St Kilda that came out the way they did. But when they did, they made the most of it. So we were I reckon as close as you can get to a big upset. And we were on fire.
Like, I watched it again today just to get a bit of a refresh. Because, you know, on the night, it felt like an honourable loss. But then, like, really was it? And, like, some people questioned that. So I thought, I've got to watch it back just to refresh the memory. And it was. Like, the first quarter and a half, I was like, wow, like, this is as good of, like, general play football and intensity as we've had in about 8 weeks, I reckon, before the bye. Yeah. This was the best football we've played in a long time. Yes. You know, last week was West Coast. That was poor. The North game we talk about. Yeah. I think this general play-wise, it was even better than the Sydney game for a little bit. For a lot of portions of that, where we won.
Enough. Because we were at a wedding and one of the groom's good mates, Marky Mark, he's a mad sainer. He told me he subscribed to the Plus before the
good on him.
Before the wedding. Yeah. But yeah, lovely lad, and we'd snuck out and we managed to watch pretty much like the full first quarter. Yeah. Bar Kingy, the first 20 seconds.
We'll touch on that.
We'll touch on that. But yeah, like, even just watching it on a tiny little phone screen, you could just tell that we had brought Saints footy. We had rocked up, ready to play. Yeah. And they are the games where, you know, when you're at the ground, you sense it. You're like, all right, anything could happen tonight. Yeah. And if it wasn't for us just not being able to finish off some good work, like, if you took a cut of everything bar kind of like the goal kicking.
Yeah, you'd think we'd won.
Yeah, you just like that is some really, like, we were dominant in that third quarter. Was it the third quarter or the last quarter?
Last quarter, yeah.
We were dominant.
We had the first 8 or 9 inside 50s, I think. And in the first quarter, it was 10-2 at one point. 10 inside 50s to 2 our way. We were peppering.
We come out in fourth quarters on fire. The problem is we don't convert. Like last week against West Coast, we kicked 1 goal 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just our conversion that's really, really hurting us. It's not our effort. We come out with our bums on fire, and unfortunately, when we kick for goal, the flame goes out. So
and just like a few little things like Rowe marking it twice from about 55 out and trying to centre it twice. I don't understand why he attempted that when we know he's got it in him. Like, I know he had an amazing game.
I think he was cooked.
Yeah.
I think he was cooked, yeah.
Take the 30 seconds, deep breath, and just launch it as far as you can. Like, Kingy was gone already at that point. Yeah. There was no one there to chip to.
Yeah, but I prefer that percentage play over the, okay, we're going to put it out there and it's going to land 2 metres short and it'll be punched over for a behind.
Yeah.
Like, that's a coach killer, those ones. You get told not to do that. So I don't mind he was setting it up, but we just didn't have the cavalry. And I think it's time we talk about that now. The injuries that we copped.
Get over it. Just get past it.
It was like 18, because we caught literally the start of the game, and they're like, King's gone. I'm like, hang on, it's like a minute into the game. What could have possibly happened?
Yeah.
I saw him. I saw the contact, and I saw it happen, and then I saw him grimacing and coming off the ground. I was like, "Oh, this is not good." Because if there's one thing St Kilda does, it loves giving a lot of possession and a lot of time to key defenders or intercept players. We just love letting them reign supreme down there. And I thought it was going to be one of those nights that we came out and we didn't let them. And we actually did very, very well to only keep... so I think Stephen May had 12 marks. He could have had 25 on the night. But we actually made a lot of effort at contest to bring it to ground, and there was just no one there. So,
and as silly as this might sound, but it looked like King had started with the right intentions by getting further up the ground. Like where it happened, he's in the centre square.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, it was one of those things that, and now he'll learn from that, and it's the hardest way to learn, but the best way to learn is he was behind. He was behind in the contest. If he's in front, Stephen May's the one popping his shoulder out.
So is it kind of like the... I'm getting a little bit on in my years where to reach something from the car in the back seat, I've got to unbuckle.
Yeah.
If I'm not unbuckling, I'm putting myself at risk. So was it kind of like one of those ones where it was just like an awkward...
It was.
Yeah. He's trying to reach.
Yeah.
And May's got some pretty broad shoulders, so he's trying to get around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Because essentially he went with the 1-2. So he was trying to just put the heat on May. And he's gone with the right, and then the weak one, the left. And when the left's come around, it's got caught, and it's just gone bang out. So, season over. It was a soft one, but I'm glad that we've gone. And Ross, this is a year of discovery. And he said, "All right, done. Go see the surgeon, get it done, come back fit for next year." Because obviously he's not going to be on the chopping block for the Saints. So
so you're basically, Joycey, our Peter Larkins, Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah.
Give us a as best case scenario why this is a good thing for Max King. Because I think there are a lot of Sainers out there that are super flat about Kingy redoing a reconstructed shoulder.
Well, I think the problem is you either do these things in the middle of the season and you come back and you have a full pre-season, or you do them and you have an interrupted pre-season and then something in the season goes wrong, like a hamstring, like it did this year. So we saw him go down with the shoulder in the pre-season. It was interrupted. He wasn't fit enough. Did his hammy. Interruption again. This way, he'll be able to have surgery, come into a full pre-season, and then work on the things he needs to work on.
Didn't he have surgery on the shoulder, though?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So he had surgery and then wasn't able to do anything. So that impeded his pre-season.
Oh, you mean like he didn't get to do, weights or something? He
wouldn't have been able to do weights. He wouldn't have been able to do a lot of running. But if you don't... This is how important pre-season is to football. And if you're at a local level, you don't get it. It's just, you look at someone, it takes halfway through the season for someone to catch up. If they miss a pre-season and then the coach needs them in for round 1, fitness-wise, they won't catch up until after the bye. So these boys get absolutely hammered over the pre-season with fitness.
So do you think Kingy can come back and just be the shoulder's not an issue?
Correct. I think that's what we're looking for. I think it's get it done now. We don't want to put you at risk. get it done now, strengthen, condition it, so when we come into pre-season, we can have you as fit as a thistle. So,
I love the
thistles. He's going to be one strong thistle, that one.
Yeah, that's it.
Because Rui broke his collarbone round 1, didn't he, against Brizzy?
Yeah.
And the Scots pushed him down.
Yeah,
and
but
then
that was
how
the
was
AC
he,
joint.
Yeah.
How was he? When did he come back?
He would have come back about round 12.
I'm just trying to think of how good his second half of the year was.
He had to build. It was the same for him with his hamstring. He came back and he struggled in his first game back after the hamstring and whatnot.
Coincidentally, against Brisbane.
What are some like power key forwards that have come back from multiple reconstructed shoulders?
That's good. Yeah, good question. I don't think it'd be unfamiliar.
Fair enough.
It's something that just happens. I know a lot of cricketers that come back from it.
A lot of rare things happen to Saints.
I know, right?
Remember when Kingy got hit in the head by the golf ball when he was out for a week with concussion? Yeah. So you're right. Rare things do happen, but I think they've made the right call. We've pretty much gone bar 4 rounds the whole season without him.
Yeah, it's not going to. I think if anything, we're so used to not playing with him or Skunk anyway that. The boys will just revert to whatever formation they had before.
Yes.
And that was when we were playing some good footy.
And now we know that it's effort-based. We know it's not personnel-based, it's effort-based.
Yeah, and to be fair, we were good for the whole game after he went off. So if we had fallen apart and got done and May had 50 and they win by 10 goals, you're like, okay, a bit of a worry. But we worked out, we should have won that game anyway.
Yeah, definitely. So. And then you see Jack Hayes make his return.
Yeah, Jack Hayes.
And please, we need some luck now with the injuries because we've had a very torrid run. We all know that. And to see Hayes, he was moving really well in the Sandy game.
Yeah.
And, it probably would have been hard to squeeze him in, or if he comes in, that's probably at the expense of Caminiti. So in a year of exploration, I think King going down, may be a silver lining for what's to come.
Yeah, and it just shows Kingy that it's a tough industry. This is what you're going to be expected. You got to now improve on X, Y, Z. His playing's great. Don't get me wrong. He's full of skill and full of talent. But now it's about the body.
Yeah,
so
he needs to bulletproof it.
Yeah, he needs to bulletproof
as much
it.
he can.
And the only way to do that is you look at someone like the longevity of Scott Pendlebury, and it's just because he is obsessive. He is obsessive about his body and keeping his body in check and making sure he's doing the right thing week in, week out, so that when he comes out to play football, he can go on and play for, weeks on end without pulling up too sore or anything like that. So I think it's really important this year that the Saints are now learning about rest and recovery and how important it is. But, look, Sebi going out, hamstring, he's getting on, he's 30 now. These things start to happen. So, and he's the one that is obsessive about his preparation.
Yeah.
So it does show me that we're being pushed to our limits on the track, which is great. I love that because now we'll come out next year an even fitter and stronger side. But I think there's been a bit of a cloud over a certain name at the club in terms of fitness and preparation and everything like that. But on the weekend, he was back to his best, and that was Jack Steele.
Jack Steele, yeah. It was so good to see him move the way he was moving.
Absolutely.
In and out of the... That's the key thing is when I saw him drift forward and mark it and kick it, I'm like, there we go. That was almost the sign.
Yeah.
And nailing
I
it, Even Gresham, his set shots are getting better. He's actually not swinging the footy as much now, I've noticed.
Yeah, he's settled down.
He's really just going body straight to goal,
Yes,
He hasn't got that weird arc that he had.
Yes, and his hips aren't swerving all over the place.
So definitely a big improvement for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steely was very nice.
And, and when King went down, and when I saw the sub activated as Burns, I'm like, shit, that's for the rest of the game. That's I don't know, it's not a lot. It's just all right. We've lost King, now we've lost Sebi, and got Burns in. I thought that was his best game.
Yeah,
he was brilliant.
By far, best game for the club.
The most direct, footy he's played, I think.
Yeah. And he's one of the rare players that his first intention is to look down. Rather than look over. So, a lot of players will grab the ball, bomb the ball. We know Sebi does it. We know a few other players do it. But he's one of the first players to grab the ball and what's in front of him rather than what's down the field. So
that was talked about in Rossi's presser.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
He mentioned it. It was more like his penetration with the footy in hand. And you could tell that Burnsy was really getting it and either just driving forward with it. Like that pass to Sharman.
That was so
he
good.
Got it. He saw the gap between two Ds and went for it. And it was, I think it was, who was it? Caminiti or someone, but they missed it. And then Sharman's just plucked it.
Yeah. It was a perfect
beautiful
kick.
play. Yeah.
That's what you used to say Goddard do for Rui. And
just hit him up.
Yeah. Pick your target. And your first option. He always loves going to his first option, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
So, he's very confident with ball in hand. And that's fantastic.
But I think there'd been like a bit of a period where he seemed to have kind of lost a bit of that confidence, where he would just sort of take that half second a bit too long. Mm-hmm. But on the weekend it looked like he'd made up his mind. He's like, that's sweet, that's where I'm going. Yeah, and I'm getting the ball there.
And that brings me to another thing I wanted to chat about as well, and we'll get to more players because a lot of players played very, very well. But on the weekend, it looked like we had some leadership on the field for the first time this year. It looked like Steele was the leader, and it looked like Wilkie back in defence was the leader. Dougal came with him. I think Dougal Howard had a pretty damn good game.
He was so good.
He made a few blunders.
How was that not 50 though? Like it always seems to happen to us. We've talked about it before.
The smother?
The smother.
I said that when it happened. I'm like, he didn't move off his line.
Nah, and like even if he did, it's like a half step. So how can someone be that close to him? Like it's the same thing that happened. Yeah. Battle in that game, the Hawthorn game, I think it was.
Yeah, you're right. Half a step off a line.
Yeah, it's like get stuff. So that's why I reckon the umpire paid because
there was a free kick soon after.
Straight after.
Yeah,
Petrarca got the ball.
It was a square up.
Yeah. Another thing I noticed, I'm just going to mention, it's not relevant to that, but I need to mention it before I forget it. Yeah. But I noticed a couple of boys, Naz did it, he got the free kick from it. I wonder if this is to combat sling tackles, and all the stuff that goes with that, but pinning the arm and just grabbing the arm. Naz just did it a few times. I think Burnsy did it. Yeah. They didn't go for the full tackle and sling. Yeah. They just grabbed the guy's arm.
Oh, they're going judo style.
And they couldn't do anything with it. I don't know what that action was. Yeah. But yeah, like I was like, oh, that's new. I wonder if we're training that. Yeah. Because I haven't seen that before.
Potentially. That's a great pickup.
It's effective.
And you know what? We've got the best tackler that AFL's ever seen in Lenny Hayes in the coach's box, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's
grabbed the arm.
Yeah, just
what else can they do?
But that's what I was talking about on Fancast that we've been getting involved with. Is that now I think the intention should be to strip the football.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be to sling your player to ground. And I've heard Dan Gorringe and Buckley say it. And hell, if I had the body to do it, I would want to hurt bodies as well and put them to grass and everything like that. But the focus now was the footy. And that's something that Stan Alves did back in the 90s. He was like, boys, you've got to be footy obsessed. If you're tackling someone, it's to get the footy.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to be ball obsessed. So, and I think we were. I think we were really footy obsessed on the weekend, and we were really obsessed about the pill, and that's what I love. And that's the footy that everyone wants to see, is everyone going absolutely ballistic for that leather sharing out on the ground. And it was great to see.
We won all the key stats. We won inside 50s. We had a lot of shots. We had more contested, more uncontested.
And the majority of their goals was from us just making it just that final crack in the chain where it's just a real basic skill error.
Yeah.
Or just
missing four in a row, and then they like Lockie Hunter just hits Ben Brown up. Yeah. And then he kicks in.
They're so clinical. Yeah. Melbourne are just the most clinical team in the AFL, and when it works, it looks great, and they can if you make a mistake, Melbourne make you pay.
Definitely.
That's the way they run.
And just like some unfortunate ones where like Butler, I think maybe last quarter, kicked the ball off the ground, then got it. He was running it, down the boundary. He had a bit of space, and then all he has to do is kicking it over the top. Yeah, and we're away. Mm-hmm. But he gets smothered. Like, well done, Dees. Yeah, and then they kick a goal from it. Yeah. It's just like
the other one that stands out to me is the beautiful rove. It bounced kindly for Jack Steele, and he should have gone on his left, but he handballed it to JB in a bit of space, and JB went for the right foot snap. Yeah,
that was so.
I was like,
why didn't he go on his left?
That's a captain. He did that in 2020 about 5 times. On his left, snap, drop punt. He's so comfortable.
But
JB too.
Why didn't JB go on?
It shouldn't have even got to him.
But
Steelers should have taken it.
I was watching it and I watched the replay quite intently of that moment because I was like,
"That's a drop punt."
But it was a drop punt, and JB's opponent was coming in from the right. Why didn't he use his left foot?
Because he went for the snap because of that, didn't he? To try and get it over the guy, go on an angle.
Yeah.
And it made it harder for him. But I still think Steelers should have taken it. I can't get over. He should have kicked it.
But that was to me. I reckon that's a skipper's moment. Bring him into the game.
A skipper's moment's kicking the goal on your left.
Oh,
not handballing to a teammate just because.
But he was open. I still put the onus for that goal on Jack Billings not going on his left because he's like, Jack Steele decided in that moment, I'm on my left. There's a left footer. Left footer. Great team footy. That's what Richmond built a dynasty on.
If that's DeGoey or if that's Petrarca, they're kicking that goal.
Yeah, different players, but
he did that in 2020.
Yeah.
I still reckon it was the right option to go to the team, mate.
I genuinely think it's because it was JB. If it was anyone else, I reckon Steely
you know what?
it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because it was his first game.
That's right.
And that's what I'm saying, and that's why I didn't mind it, because it was a skipper's moment to bring your mate back into the game.
If he's flicking that out to, like, say, Caminiti or somebody...
It's a mistake,
It's a mistake, like putting him under the pump.
Oh, absolutely.
But because it was JB, it was the right choice, but then JB made the wrong choice. So
I think there was several wrong choices. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh, one wrong choice, and because it was such a chubby deflated. Like there was just the passage where beautiful, feed. I think it was Owens and Caminiti, and
they kept handballing to each other.
Handballing it, and then I know Ross said that we handball too much. We need to kick it a little bit more, and he said that about, I think, JB maybe. But in that particular passage, we just needed one more handball. Caminiti, give it back
to Owens, and Owens is going to kick the goal.
Back to Owens.
Yeah.
Because then you're getting done every day of the week.
You can see
he got done twice that way.
Yeah.
So he run down tackles.
And if, you finish off one of those plays...
Yeah.
Everyone's up and about.
Yeah.
And I think that, got the arms pumping, listeners. But, just one of those goals that, we were just itching for for the boys to just party with. And if we had got a party goal, then, everyone's hitting the dance floor.
Yeah, it was much like the Geelong game last year, wasn't it? Where they couldn't get away. Melbourne couldn't get away. They just couldn't string those, 3-4 goals together.
Yeah, they didn't. First quarter was it, I think.
Yeah. So, but I'm really proud of the boys' efforts. I'm really proud of Rowan Marshall. He was the man.
Let's talk about best games they've played.
Oh yeah,
by far his best game in his career.
100%.
By far,
definitely.
We're not tuned in for a bit. I think I sent the message to you boys like, oh shit, Marshall's he's in trouble. Like he's on the bench and he just looked gone.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
That's probably the only time he was on the bench for the whole game.
95% game time.
Yeah, 5%.
On Gordon Grundy.
Yeah, I saw him come off twice. I was sitting above the bench.
Crazy.
I saw him come off twice. That was it. He was everywhere.
That was his best game. I think Naz was
brilliant.
Spectacular again.
Yeah.
This guy posted it the other day, but he does not get the plaudits he deserves.
No, he definitely
which is
doesn't.
fine because keep him under the radar, but... he's a second-year player, isn't he?
Yeah.
We're so fortunate that we re-signed him when we did because we've saved us a couple $100,000.
We have. Yeah. Where's Jared Healy? He's the one who said we made a mistake drafting Naz instead of Josh Sin.
Oh, jeez.
Sin could still turn... Is it Josh Sin?
Who's that?
Port Adelaide.
No, I just mean in general.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who's he when he's on holidays?
Jared, I'd love to get you on, mate. Yeah. But Naz is just career-high numbers, kicks,
And it's such a calming influence, and the
defensive side too.
Yeah, that tackle that he got where he got, won a holding the ball decision for him. He's like, go you good thing.
Yeah, he's yummy. He is such a
33, only 33 games in, he's going to be a star.
And the thing is that I don't feel like we overuse him as well. I think we perhaps don't use him enough because quite often, sort of watching it on the tally, he's always in space and he's like, yeah, come on, kick the ball to me. But for a lot of the time, we don't seem to get the ball out to him.
Yeah.
So he could easily be getting another 10 touches.
He'll hit 40. He'll hit 40 one day.
Yeah, in terms of that, I saw that a lot. And that, in terms of gameplay, was picking when to use the switch.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes he was on the wrong side of the switch and we needed to go the other way.
Yeah,
That was one thing I was really, really happy to see, is we changed.
Yeah.
Oh, the angles. There was
We
so
changed the
many more
angles.
Yep.
We moved around. We were, we kept reloading.
And you can see that was kind of a mindset, and it got us in trouble a couple of times. Like the biggest one, or maybe not the biggest one, but one I felt really killed us. Stocker. Beautiful kick of the footy, but he could have kept on pushing it out to create that switch, that sort of predictable way that we've been going about it, but doing what you were talking about, just changing it up. He's just gone, all right, bang, let's go straight, change the angles. But
a couple of times it was good,
him.
but straight to him. He actually lost about 10 metres off his kicking, I reckon, throughout the game, just purely because he was running out of legs.
Gassed.
Yeah. Because he would have been left out there
I'll
for a long time.
I'll tell you who didn't look like he was running out of legs. He never does. Zachy Jones. Loved what...
Great first game back.
Really,
Brilliant game back.
That warmed the cockles.
The energy, that freneticness. Like, when the Demons player is going to get it, they're going to get smashed. Or he's going to get in first and put his head over it. And he did it a few times. He gave away that free kick where you hit the leg. But, when you clip their legs.
The knees. That
he's
was
in
the
first.
first time
He's
I've
in
seen it all.
first. Good to see him. He brings so much to the table for us.
Yes,
That was really refreshing to see him in. And just such a point of difference, isn't it? Like,
Changes the midfield.
Yeah. It does. A bit of pace and aggression.
Yeah, crash and bash.
Yeah.
Speaking of him coming back in, JB coming back in, we touched on him lightly.
Yeah.
Solid return.
One goal, set up a few.
He actually provided another point of connection, which was great. So, once we work out the forward line, it's all systems go, because I think he is that really calming influence when he takes a mark on the half-forward flank.
Yeah, and I love that when, Crouchy hit him up, he didn't look around or anything. He knew,
straight back.
He knew and he kicked it, and that was awesome. He was comfortable. He's a senior boy now. He's not a young kid. People forget that, because he still looks like a kid.
Yeah, true. He's got a baby face. But he actually went up in a lot of contests to bring the ball to ground as well. So he was great.
Yeah, I'm keen to see how he goes with Higo back. To see Butler, Higgins and Billings with Gresh.
Well, I think it'll work really, really well, because that might provide that extra connection. So, but yeah, boys, I'm really proud of everyone.
And Jimmy, special mention to Jimmy Webster as well.
Jimmy Webster, cracking
on
game.
Cozzy, or whoever took down
4 touches.
Yeah, brilliant performance.
That's two snipers.
Yeah,
2 snipes in a row. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, not the result in the end on the scoreboard, but hopefully that's building to something. That's a building block. You can look back at that and go,
I was going to say,
bottle that, like Ross said, and then put it on Saturday against the Suns and any other opponent for the rest of the year, and you're making finals.
Well,
you got to be making finals.
Put it against the Suns and they'll crumble quick.
Yeah.
So
and start fast again.
Yeah, well, that's it.
That's
Just
what we
bring
did.
the intensity.
Yeah.
Bring that intensity. You boys know you've got it within you, so bring it, and don't let it stop.
Yeah.
Don't let it stop. All right, boys. Well, cracking conversation. Let's get stuck into Jakey's junk mail. Tim Tams.
Jakey's junk mail. Jakey's junk mail. Jakey's junk mail. Jakey's junk mail.
Ready for
Chit
some
chat. Let's do it.
snappy responses by you boys?
Yeah.
This one's from Mitchell. He's wondering, could we go for someone like Reese Matheson or Jared Lyons from the Lions?
This is actually funny because I was saying that I reckon we should have gone Mitch Robinson in the mid-season draft. And I think we need... Well, if Zach Jones is going to keep getting injured, we do need that barometer. We do need someone to come in and be that big body that crashes packs. And, Matheson actually might be that type. We need someone that's not afraid.
And you're kind of saying it in the thread that a Luke Dunstan would be pretty handy at the minute for us. So Reese Matheson is a younger Luke Dunstan.
Yeah, and a better kick too.
Yeah, right.
I won't say decision maker, but I'll say a better kick.
He's a natural footballer.
Yes, yeah.
And he actually I followed that draft pretty closely, and he really wanted to come to the Saints. He grew up a Sainter.
Did he?
And he,
Reece
like,
Matheson.
playing against Brisbane when he'd play, you'd get angry and he'd get in your head because he wins free kicks.
Yeah,
he's like a Cody
Waitman.
Yeah, kind of like that, where he's that
instigator.
pest. And we don't really have that at the moment, so I don't mind that.
We haven't had it since Loney left.
Yeah, pretty much.
Loney was good
Get
at
under
that.
the skin.
Yeah.
Scott's asking, do we bring in Hayes or Campbell to give Rose some rest and beef up the forward line, or go back to the setup from the first 11 weeks with no obvious target? Campbell or Hayes, surely. They're going to play.
Hayes. Like, if Hayes is fit enough,
Yeah.
like I said, he was moving well.
Yeah.
And
I'd say just don't put him in the ruck. Let Machado go into the ruck again. I'd just be keeping Hayes at full forward. Just let him plant him there, work him back into it. Because you don't want another king.
But if you had Hayes though, right, like you could, he kind of does it in that he seems to be a self-preserved kind of player, in that he knows he's not going to win the hit out, so it's more just he'll sort of like hold his ground a little bit and then just be that kind of like fifth mid. Or fourth mid, extra midfielder, whatever.
Machedo's pretty much that too, but he'll actually try and get the hit out too.
But that's the thing. Like, he just, you don't want him in the ruck anymore.
I just see Tom Campbell ripping it up every week, and I'm like, just give him a game. The bloke, like, he's putting in serious numbers. Like, he's getting 40 hit outs and 25 disposals
especially against
a week.
Wits.
And against Wits, he's big.
You got to reward.
You
got to reward good form.
And I think Rowe genuinely could be like our best forward if he played there more.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I know he's so good around the ground, but bloody hell, if you put him a full forward for a full game, he's kicking 5 or 6.
I'd love that.
He's such a good player. This one's from Bill. Does losing King for the year possibly help? Tremendous player to lose, but forces a lot more creativity to score.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah, you got to take it as. I mean,
you got to turn a negative into a positive, don't you?
Correct.
Just
that's a better way of putting it.
Didn't some philosopher like Pitbull say that once? Negative to positive.
Is this a goodwill hunting moment? Like,
isn't that the song?
Have to shut you down.
You do have the vest.
I do have the vest on, don't I? Yeah. That's it.
Isn't that the song?
What's that?
Isn't that a lyric from one of his songs? Pitbull.
Pitbull.
I thought you said Pip.
Oh, I was like, I didn't know who you were talking about.
The philosopher, Pitbull, was a joke. But negative to positive.
Yeah, I don't listen to much Pitbull, to be honest.
Yeah.
Neither do I, but seem to know enough.
What do you call it?
Dale. Yeah, let's just... You know what? We're skipping that question. We're going to go straight to Charlie. We need 4 more wins to lock in finals. Who do they come up against? To be honest, I'll start. I don't really give a shit. Just get the 4 wins.
Just get the
Doesn't
4
really
wins,
matter.
Yeah.
We're going to have to beat some decent teams on the way. Carlton are, slightly back in form. They're coming back. Geelong. Gold Coast away, you never know. And with us, it's always bloody close anyway. Then you got Brizzy at the Gabba. You got Richmond again.
I'm actually more confident against Richmond second time around than I am Gold Coast second time around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's always different. Yeah. And also because we beat Gold Coast by a lot and we lost last time to Richmond. So you're kind of like law of averages. If you lose the first time, you want to win the second time. If you win the first time, you're kind of worried you'll lose the second time.
Yeah.
At least that's how I think.
Don't care as long as we... And that was another interesting tidbit from Ross's presser in that we're driving for finals.
Okay, good. Yeah.
That's the first time it's been on the agenda. Mm-hmm. And so...
Well, it's actually the first time we've come out and played like it. Like, that was finals footy.
Yeah, true.
And that was a good question we asked the boys pre-game, Hilly and Bats.
Or delve into that a little bit.
We asked them kind of the approach going to this game. You know? I think you started that convo.
Yeah, so we interviewed Hilly and Battle before the game in the social club, which was great fun. And Hilly's an absolute ripper.
He just doesn't stop laughing.
He doesn't stop. He's so cheeky. He is absolutely. He's such a good energy to be around. But I asked him, does the direction change now? You know, because finals are so tangible. And Hilly was like, we're still trying to do the old week by week and everything like that. And I'm like, after Rossi said that in the presser, I reckon, come Monday, that's changed.
Yeah.
Tuesday when they hit the track.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Jake's asking, what do you think of Isaac Keeler's Buddy-esque goal for Sandy on the weekend?
That was tasty.
It was nice.
It wasn't Buddy-esque.
It was Paddy.
It was
Paddy-esque, yeah.
No, it was Jackson-esque. He's got the one glove on.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the singular glove on. And he did the little spin and then the snap. And I was like, so good. Shamona.
Oh, you meant Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Luke Jackson with one glove.
I was thinking that for a bit.
I was thinking Luke Jackson.
Luke Jackson missing teeth.
Yeah, I think from a lot of people internally, they rate Isaac
very
highly
I
as a
rate him.
serious talent.
Yeah, the proper track watchers, like the old boys that go down and watch. Yeah,
They think he's very special.
Yeah, they think he's very special.
Yeah, can't wait. I'd love to just throw him in this weekend, to be honest.
Yeah, I reckon he'll be
square.
one of those players that'll be like, a 10 to 12 touch player, but you're going to get 4 or 5 highlights out of those 10 to 12 touches.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an accumulation or like, oh shit, he's all over the ground marking.
No,
and everything
he'll
like that.
just be
It's just going to
efficient.
be special, like Paddy was.
Yeah, didn't get high numbers, but geez, he hurt you when you got him.
He was special, yeah.
Fleece is wondering, Jack Paris, when he gets an opportunity, who does he replace?
That's the
It's
thing,
got to be
isn't
a
it?
small then.
Yeah. Like Paris will be there next year. He'll go on. He'll sign on for next year. I think he's already signed on for next year. But it'd be someone like a Ryan Burns coming out. So
Yeah. This one's interesting. This is from the Chad.
The Chad.
He had another one, but I'll go with this one because it's a bit more interesting. Is it hard to swallow that players are protected from head injuries through a tackler and a bumper being responsible for the outcome of those actions, but a player can knee with full force to anywhere on the body, including the head, with no responsibility of the opponent's injury caused? May on Cordy, Allen on Battle. I mean, he's going. They're going for the footy, I guess, is the only thing.
Exactly.
May's going for the mark.
Yeah.
And he happened to knee.
It's just the domino effect. It's like if you try and rule that out, it's just like, where does it stop?
Yeah, and we had it done to our own, remember? Back against Collingwood. Machado got absolutely done by Caminiti's knee.
Yeah,
so
true.
That's just footy. And then, Rowan Marshall could have absolutely messed up the face of Angus Neil-Bullen when he went up for that second intercept mark, kicking it back into the 50 because he had his foot out now.
Yeah, true.
Under the new rules, that actually should have been a free kick.
Yeah.
If your studs are up, it's a free kick.
Yeah.
And I still remember like one of the worst ones, and it wasn't even the knee, but it was like when Gardner took that mark in that Geelong,
Oh, and he
home and
knocked
away.
out
Oh,
Harry
yeah,
Taylor.
Yeah, when he just went
KO.
there with the elbow. It was like,
Yeah, imagine that now. What does Gardner gets 5 weeks, doesn't he?
Oh, because he's in a Saints top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10.
10.
We'll go with this one to close it off from Lucas. It's a bit more of a rant, to be honest.
Let's have it, Lucas.
This might be up your alley, I reckon.
Oh.
Marshy.
Oh.
Hey guys, I was at the game on Saturday and sitting down level 1, aisle 27 and 28. Got to hear for the first time the amazing work from the people in aisle 29. Keep it up, guys. What was disappointing, though, is the fact that some Saints fans who are supposed to be cheering for the team is attacking some of our players. On that night, notably, Dougal Howard, in my opinion, on Saturday and the last month has been pretty solid and working himself into form in a time where as a club we've been up and down.
Oh, bloody hell.
As fans, we all need to do better to support our players and not throw abuse at them, because as a Saints fan, I felt a bit embarrassed and so bad for Howard because I could see he was visibly upset when he made a mistake, and then our own fans gave him abuse.
Yeah, it's shit.
It is a bit shit, yeah.
The worst thing is that the ones that are, would prefer to go to the football, but they prefer to be vocal, is when they're just giving our players shit. You never see those people getting up, cheering on the boys.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for someone to stuff up.
They want a mistake.
Yeah, they want a mistake. They feed off it. It's just like, grow up, get a grip, follow the boys.
I had a whole row of, I'd say they're probably around 18 to 21, around that age, maybe even a bit younger. And a few of them were wearing Richmond jumpers.
Yeah.
And they're joking. They're like, I'm not even here to watch either of his team. I'm just here to watch the Saints, implode. And every mistake we made, they're like, Saints footy and, knock and all this shit. For literally the entire game, the only time I got 5 or 10 minutes where they left was when they went to get food.
Yeah.
And then they came, I was like, good, they're gone. Then they came back. I'm like,
There was a bunch of those on the weekend, but some people just
like, what are you there for?
They're going for a laugh and whatnot, and it's all well and good, have a laugh, but the fact is the money goes in our pockets. So, but some people just aren't happy unless they're unhappy.
I'm really worried about the state of the atmosphere of football games from when I was younger to now. When I was younger and I'd go to the G and we were still, bottom 8 playing another bottom 8 team, the atmosphere was unreal. Yeah. Now you need to see a top 2 clash to get a decent, fully focused atmosphere on the tackles, the actual skill of the game.
Yeah.
At times on our game on the weekend, people were so, I guess, disconnected with the game. Unless there was a goal. you know?
Yeah.
General play, people are on their phones, they're chatting, and I'm like,
no, people have
what are you
definitely
here
gone
for?
within their shells, it seems to be. And
I'm not just pointing out Saints fans. I just mean, I guess in general AFL community.
And we've had a few messages sort of come through to the channel, like through yourself, Jake, and like even through to the Aisle 29 sort of stuff of just sort of examples of people essentially being shushed for supporting at the footy. Like, that's not on. Like, you know, as far as I'm concerned, if you've kicked a goal, there's a reason why there's a term getting you out of your seat.
Yeah.
You know, because something's exciting. That just happens. And, you know, after a goal's been kicked and if people are standing up, that's what we do. We get up and then we make sure we sort of sit down before the ball's bounce. We time it nicely. But, you know, if someone's getting up and they're trying to pump up the boys, I would hate for any Sainer to tell them no.
Yeah, that's shocking.
If they're not being, you know, like, you know, shit about it, and we all know how that looks, bloody, let
them go.
They can chant if they want to.
Yeah, absolutely, as long as it's positive.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's another thing.
You need the energies.
The chants. Nathan Brown, was it Nathan Brown?
Oh, yeah.
Last week.
So shit.
He's given away, he wrote some chants and stuff.
the Dusty
because he
101,
basically said that, why doesn't the AFL have this? And on the TikTok, everyone was tagging Saints TV.
Yeah.
And they're like, how does Brownie not know that the Saints have, like, we've got chants for every player thanks to this man and his crew? Like,
yeah, spot on.
Brownie, do a bit of research first before you jump the gun.
And that was so awful.
And they weren't great either.
No, that was terrible.
Yeah.
I was going to say, and I was going to put it out to you, Marshy, because you're the man.
Yeah.
Our cheer squad's depleted.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And it's time to, I reckon, a call to arms.
Yeah.
So I think that we need to organise a game coming up. I won't be there for the North game. I'll be away. But I think the following one, the Hawthorn one, I'll be able to get there at quarter time after a gig. And then the following few weeks, we're at Marvel. So I think we're at Marvel for a good 4 weeks in a row or something.
We're at Marvel for 5 weeks after this week.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous. That's awesome. I want to get, I think maybe for an away game, so the Hawks one.
Yeah.
Let's get in the cheer squad. I reckon all three of us get down to the cheer squad.
I'll put it on the socials.
Do the chants.
Yeah.
And speaking of, that's an excellent idea, Joycey. And look, we have tried it in the past, but let's try it again. Like with a broader focus on just, you know, making Saints footy loud again.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we'll work out a game. But in the meantime, if people out there can just think of just basic chants, like, you know, like I said before, we've got like the Dave Dobbins slice of heaven, the St. Kilda, da, 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 something. But like whatever you can think of that that will start a bit of a fire.
Yeah.
Just basic ones that are, you know, that just deviate from the insert team, clap, clap, clap.
Yeah.
And we'd have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah, and that's what I reckon, because like the Melbourne cheer squad on the weekend was awesome. It was 3 bays deep. Yeah. You know, on either side of the goals there was still all of that cheer squad going on. So I reckon we need to call to arms. Let's get it for a couple of games. We all go down there. Everyone bring your mates, bring your Saints mates, because for some of them it's going to stick.
Yeah.
And some of them will really, really like it. And I know the times that I've sat down there, I've really enjoyed the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But, you know, we need to get down there, bring your flags, because the Dees ones are ridiculous. You saw the flags going up, and they're 5x5 metre flags going over their heads and everything like that.
We need a drum, because I was told that by...
Say less. Look where you are.
Get a drum.
I'll bring a drum down.
Yes, Joyce is bringing a drum. It was Carlton. That people say that you can't bring instruments, but Carlton, they have a drum.
They have a drum?
They have a drum. So they don't get told off.
Yeah. I want to get the giant posters that you see at, like, you know, Borussia Dortmund games, German league in soccer.
Oh, yeah.
They're basically like built like this giant sort of image behind the goals. Like the goalkeeper.
Oh, so when they flip,
and it's like the guy looking through the binoculars or something, but it's super intimidating to the other team. Like, we need some stuff in the crowd. Like, even
we need flags putting them off. No wonder Melbourne kicked so well on the weekend.
Like, hanging them up.
Can you hang? We've only got a few little pom poms.
Can you hang flags over, like, you say if you're row A of level 2, can you hang like flags and stuff over the top? Because that would look sick around the ground.
I don't know if you can.
That's a shame, because that'd look amazing.
Yeah, but I reckon it's a great That'd be a great little initiative. We've done a lot of work in trying to get into the social club and adapt the pre-game and everything like that. But I reckon now...
It's about the game.
It's about the game. It's about the atmosphere of the game.
It's about the game.
And the one thing I want to bring to the cheer squad is as soon as that siren goes, everyone's going ballistic and the flags are going
Get
everywhere.
Get on the field. That's it.
You know, and when that ball goes up, just keep it going. Keep that energy for Saints. So, you know, because back when I was a kid and I sat there a couple of times, it was great and I miss it. So, I want to bring it back.
Because that's the thing, like, because you need to like have some just the good basic chance, and because that's essentially what all 29. That's what we want to. We're an extension of the cheer squad, so we want to get it just rippling along into 30, 31. 30, you know, everyone's their own aisle, but it should be starting from the cheer squad.
I agree. It should be starting from there. So I reckon over the next few weeks, we'll contact the cheer squad, contact the club, and let's
see what we can do.
See what we can do because nothing would be better.
Yeah,
I reckon. Yeah, I don't think the boys aren't getting the cheer they deserved after the goal. So, and to those people that are in the cheer squad there, bloody good effort, you know.
Definitely. It's the same ones that rock up every time, like the diehards. And,
they're legends.
You know, they are. So it's just that, unfortunately, some people treat it as a place to get grand final tickets and don't actually want to be there for the cheer aspect. So... I don't think we're winning a flag anytime soon. So let's just get our chance ready for when we do get there.
Yeah, that's right. I want there to be an amazing energy. Now, moving on to this week.
Yeah, let's gloss over this one.
Saturday, 2:10. 2:10.
We'll be at the Bentley Social. Get there from 1 o'clock. The Facebook event is up. RSVP. If you don't have Facebook, just DM me how many people are coming so I can keep track.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
And it'd be good to get back there. We didn't do one for the...
The West Coast,
which I'm glad we didn't, to be honest. But the Sydney game, that was the best one we've ever had. So let's get that vibe again. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
and especially the boys coming off that performance. So if we can bring that effort up north, then I think we're going to be in for a good afternoon of football.
And it's perfect time. We haven't had many.
No, we never get 2:10.
We never get 2:10. What a perfect time to get down to the Bentley Social and actually have a meal.
Get down at 12.
I reckon that'll be
the
first solid meal that I'll have.
Get a Palmer.
That'll be it. Yeah.
Get a Saints TV lager.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Oh, those lagers are great.
And the game at 2:10.
Nice.
So
it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, bit of chit chat about it.
Yep.
Obviously injuries, 3 out, 3 in. So who's coming in?
I'd love for Hayes to come in.
Yeah.
Clark played well.
Clark will be in, I reckon.
Half, yeah.
Jack Hayes.
Do you reckon Bytel's in?
He killed it. He was man of the match again.
Yeah.
You know, every time he's on the precipice, he gets injured.
Yeah.
He's not injured.
I mean,
Can we
missing
get the man in?
Yeah.
Depends if Hunter Clark is that swap for Seb, or they see Clark as a different swap.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking
I
like
reckon
for like,
Bytel's the swap for Seb.
and then Clark is just the sub.
Yeah, it could be.
Because Burnsy's got to play, yeah?
Yeah.
Burnsy's got to start.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And then Hayes for King.
It's interesting. I was watching Marcus Windhager on the weekend and got a fair amount, 18 touches, but to me, he is still struggling to find the balance, and I think he's being, like, not overcoached, but maybe overthinking things a bit because they said he needs to pick up the defensive side of his midfielding and everything like that. And I had a look at the stats afterwards, and it was 74% of his touches were in the defensive side of the ground.
Yeah.
It's only 26% in the attacking. I think that, he's still struggling to find that balance.
It's because he was playing at half back.
Was he playing at half back, was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
They chucked him on Melksham for a little bit.
That's interesting. Yeah, Melksham's a good player.
Just to get I guess it's easy to find the ball there. That will fast track that defensive side of his game.
True,
He'll see the ball coming in and have to, focus on a man as well as the ball.
Yeah.
Because we know that he's got the tools to be offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there were a few times where he got the ball off halfback and then burst forward and hit a target very nicely, 15-metre dart.
Yeah.
I was like, nice, that'll build his confidence.
Yeah.
And then put him into the midfield.
And that's where Clark started as well.
Yeah, so I think it's the same thing.
Yeah. So
I don't mind that.
Yeah. But so everyone retains their position from this week. No one's going to get dropped because everyone's effort was fantastic.
Yeah.
Do we see Highmore?
Oh, Brad Hill, sorry, and Josh Battle.
Yeah. Oh, Hill.
Battle.
Hill.
Yeah, they'll be in.
Yeah, true.
So
Battle and Hill come back in. So there's two replacements.
That's
so
two already.
One spot Or two spots, sub and one.
So Cordy out, Battle in, Seb out, Hill in,
King out,
Jack Hayes or Tom Campbell, probably Jack Hayes.
Yeah.
And then Hunter Clark in, sub.
Oh, Higgins as well.
And Higgins.
Jack Higgins.
Well, there's your replacements. 3 and 3.
Because you're not taking Billings out after that. Yeah, that'll be it. It'll be Hill, Battle, Higgins.
Yeah, and also Jack Billings has a knack of playing a fantastic game of football against Gold Coast.
Yeah, true.
Can Jack Hayes be the sub?
Would
that be an interesting? Because then,
I wouldn't mind
depending
that.
on how the game goes, you're like, Rowe needs a chop out, or we just need more height up forward.
Yeah.
And then you just bring him on.
What did you make of Sharman's game?
Yeah, true. He took his chance.
Yeah,
He took his
definitely.
chance. He laid a very nice tackle on May. Turned it over. Created a
He
chance
actually
for
brought
us.
a lot of good ball to ground.
And
so.
he had that left foot that smashed into the post.
Yeah, true.
And that was, funnily enough, that was who I got in the raffle as the first goal kicker.
Yeah.
And he kicked our second score, which was a point.
Yeah.
So it got close in the end.
So we had 3 posters in the first quarter and 1 touched on the mark. It's ridiculous.
I think he retains his spot. He could well be the sub, though.
He could be the sub. I reckon that's a good move to make him the
And then
sub
put-
because not only does he have height, but he has legs.
Yeah, and he's versatile.
Yes,
Which is a
correct.
perfect sub.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
bit of a
well, we've got
utility.
options, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So very keen to see what happens coming
Yeah.
into this game.
And if that means, it allows the likes of like a Hayes to build to come into the senior team.
Yeah,
That's not bad because we got a big back end of the year.
huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Biggest in a long time.
If we if we can get through this and get through it well,
Yeah.
I think that momentum and energy can build
Yeah.
into the North game, into the Hawthorn game, and then you get through them, and then you get to Carlton. You're like, whew, this is a big one.
It's big.
I'm
that
going
game's huge.
a month ahead, but yeah, every game's big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So big.
Yeah.
I know this is just wild, but which game are you sort of most anxious about coming up in the calendar?
Well, I'm worried that it's going to come down to the last round
Yeah.
against Brizzy.
I'm always worried when we play Carlton.
Yeah,
Because I know it's going to be the sort of game where if they lose, we can basically end their year. But if they get over us, they could almost get close to taking our spot.
Yeah.
So I think it's that game. Because, if you got to get past Carlton
Yeah.
Yeah.
under the roof.
Yeah, I'm with you.
know?
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Ben King, this will be Saints footy's luck. We've lost Maxi. Gold Coast have just dragged Ben King.
Yeah.
And sort of like the Dees, they couldn't kick straight the week before, and there were periods of the game on the weekend where they just couldn't miss. $10 King, Ben comes out, kicks 10.
Yeah, something like that.
Something stupid.
Yeah.
We could be the D's against the Suns this week.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah,
They had
there's a lot of
week.
combinations out
Yeah.
there.
A lot of. Yeah.
But I think, they're favourites, but I think it's mainly because it's just over there.
Yeah, that's so weird.
It's so weird that they're favourites, though.
So weird that they're favourites. But they came out really hard against Port.
Yeah.
And then Port just showed their true colours in the second half.
Went
and
up a level.
Piss off. Like, you are so annoying. So I feel like we need to do that from the get-go. Is just go, nah, piss off.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Like, this won't be a competition.
Yeah. Just bring that high pressure, that
Yeah.
high intensity that we brought to Melbourne, and they will go way all the way home. So...
if we could do, and that was the most impressive thing about the game from the weekend, is that we did it for the whole game. So there's no excuses. The 3 blokes on the bench for half a game to be able to
It's
do
going to
that.
seem so much easier. But that's the thing, though, is mentally they know that they have to go harder because there's less rotations.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, when you're undermanned, everyone goes up that extra 10% versus if you've got every star on every line because you assume they'll take some of the weight. Do you know what I mean?
Correct.
But if they're not there, it's like, I've got to go. I have no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's very,
you don't want them
that's very
to
true.
take it easy.
But
Yeah.
even just that first quarter, we were just on for the whole time.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
when Melbourne got their goals, it wasn't through lack of effort on our end.
No,
It
no.
wasn't the end of the world, was it?
Yeah.
We didn't drop our heads.
Nah.
And a few times we responded quickly after they'd scored. We
Correct.
have a chance to get it back, which was nice. And no red time goals, I don't think, or junk time goals.
No.
No, we
I think if
actually ran on
anything, we got a few.
Yeah, we got a couple. We got them last week against West Coast for the first time.
I was going to say
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like nearly 2 weeks in a row where we haven't conceded. That would be a useless stat because I reckon.
I already messaged them about it, and they were like, "Oh, that could actually be useful." And I was like,
Really?
What? No way. No way.
What's a useful stat? Like,
because they want useless stats. It's like, nah, that could actually be useful, like junk time and what.
Useful.
What? No, it couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, feeling good.
Yeah, trust the boys.
Do I have a minute?
No pressure, mate. You don't need to. You can take a week off.
Yeah. Oh, actually, just to. Yeah, I've got a cheeky minute. Just like, like an actual minute, but like, how good was it having Sarah on the potty last week? Yeah, there's some very good feedback, Joycey.
Yeah.
Were you worried?
Overwhelming feedback, I have to say.
Were you worried?
I've been worried since bloody Jordan and Max came in, mate. What are you?
Well, to be fair, Sarah will be on Saints TV Live tomorrow night.
There you go.
With Jordan, because Max is busy.
There we
go.
go.
Got Sarah on the show.
She's got the
Due
green
to,
vest.
everyone loving the way she goes about it, and she's so knowledgeable about her Saints footy.
Yeah.
So
Got
really,
a spare chair here.
really excited to
That's it. Need to go to the quadrants.
see how she goes. Tomorrow night, 7:20 live, so tune in, Sainers. It should be good.
Mate. That's what we love.
So that's
But that's the thing, it's pressure for spots, right?
Yeah.
Like, we can't have him
pressure
getting
for
comfortable.
selection.
exactly right. Yeah. It's
But
good
he's
to
got the
have
tech. He's got the tech side. We're stuffed there.
Yeah,
We need to put Sarah through.
Joyce's got plan B.
She's got to get into
Joyce has
have
got the
music
tech.
produced.
You own Saints TV, so I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah, well, our special guest might get a gig. She's used to that, so being on telly and everything, so that should be fun.
Love it.
I mean, everyone knows who it is anyway, but it's announced.
pretty exciting.
But it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Can't wait to chat to her.
All right. Well, without further ado, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Get to the social.
Get to the
That's
social.
it. 1
Bentley
o'clock,
Social.
even earlier. Doesn't matter when.
I'll be
That
there
day,
earlier.
get there, have lunch with Joycey.
Are we doing anything?
Watch me
funky?
chew. It'll be great. I've been chewing with my front
Anything
teeth all
funky?
week.
Yeah.
We're singing the song at the end because we've won by 10 goals.
Lovely.
And this time
what
I
we're
won't
doing.
play it prematurely because Kings kicked a goal within the last
Yeah,
minute.
don't
you know.
do that.
Yeah. So,
We're going to go best dress, gets a prize.
oh yeah.
Best dress gets a prize.
Yeah, free
yeah.
tickets to Aisle 29 or the cheer squad when we go there.
I was going to say, yeah, that could
Get
be
him
a
into
big
the
one.
cheer squad.
Yeah. All right. Beautiful. Take
Rock
care,
and roll.
boys. I'll see you on
Go
Saturday.
Sainers.
Go Sainers.
Saints footy. As I shuffle my head, I really love my Saints footy, and I love the feeling. So does the family. Oh yeah, Saints footy.